Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning back into Hess Hogs 4. Today I have Hog 2 Bailey up early with me. And Bailey, what are we going to make for everyone today?
Bacon!
We're going to make bacon. Well, it's like bacon. What we're going to show you is how we make a pork belly. And essentially, that's what bacon is. So if you want to come close, I want to show you kind of the steps we take when we make pork belly. And we're going to show you two ways. We're going to show you the pork belly burnt in, which is meat candy. And then we're going to show you how to do the whole belly as well, which is it's just the best thing in the world, babe. I don't know how to describe it. So what we did is this was a 10-pound pork belly. We got it at Costco, I believe, was where we got this one at, sweetie. And from there, we got it home, and I went ahead and sliced some just to save some time. We did it, and we cut the halves off. So this is a half, and if you look, you can see, what's that look like? Bacon. Now, if you were really going to turn this into bacon, we would have to cure it, then we'd smoke it, and then we'd have nice smoked bacon. But we cut that off, and then from there, when you cut that off, we cut strips. So then this is a strip. If you look, that's right at an inch, just a little over an inch. And from there, with the strips, we've done it on this board, we're going to turn it into little burnt ends, right? So really, cut the two end pieces off. From there, you get the strips, cut the strips, and I'll cut a couple just to show you. Right there, you just want to cube these out. And the way we're going to do these is we've got our smoker set at 250 degrees, and we're using our Rectech today. And I'm really happy with the results I got out of that Rectech smoker. And once you've cubed these, we're going to season these, and of course we're using Cosmos, and today we're going to use Cosmos Dirty Bird and Cosmos Honey Killer Bee. So that's after you cube them up, right? And that's for our burnt ends. And these burnt ends will go on the smoker for right at, it's probably going to be 4 hours on the smoker, just so they start to get tender. And then we'll bring them inside and show you the next step to really get them to the next level. So we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to talk about this big, beautiful piece of bacon that's left and how we're going to get this prepared. So, again, if you just take a look, this is the fat side. That's the not fat side. And when we put it on the smoker, I'm actually going to put the fat down when I'm doing the whole belly. When I put these on the smokers, the fat will be up. Does it make a difference? I don't know. It's just how I do it. So I think it just comes down to an opinion. With this pork belly, we're going to use an injection with it. And this is the Cosmos. It's just original pork injections. I use an apple juice, apple cider vinegar, and then the actual mix itself, about a 1/3 cup of the mix with a 1.5 cups of that other concoction. We shake it up, and then we're going to inject it. But before we inject it, we need to do what?
We need to season it.
Look at that. Even she knows. So before we season it, you know I like duck fat spray. So what we're going to do on the top side is we're going to spray it. And all this really will do is this will help act like a binder. Now you can use mustard. There's nothing wrong with mustard, but we'll just spray it just for the heck of it, right? So we've sprayed it. We're going to give it a second to let that set in. And then from there, Bailey, I like to put my rub on before I inject it. That's just a preference. I'm not saying that's the right way. You do whatever works for you, but I have found rub first, inject second. And again, when we put this on the smoker, we're putting the fat side down for the whole belly. So if we're going to put that side down, we need to flip this over, right? We're going to go ahead and season this side. When we do the injection, we're going to inject through the fat cap. So let's stop talking and let's get this going. So the first part of the rub, as we're building it, we're going to use Cosmos Dirty Bird. I said blurred, didn't I? And get a nice layer on here. You can never go wrong with Dirty Bird.
No, you can't.
No, you really can't. What do your sisters call this? Sprinkles?
Yes.
They call it sprinkles. So we get our first layer on with the Dirty Bird. Our second layer, we're using Honey Killer Bee. And this is a little bit of the sweet. So we got some heat, we got some sweet, we'll have some smoke, oh, and then the taste of the pork. And it just makes the best thing ever. Now, a mistake I've made in the past, and please don't make the mistakes I make, is I forget to do the sides. So, there's one side, right? Don't waste your rub. Make sure you use your rub. So now, we've done that. Throw a little bit on there. And what do we need to do at the top, sweetie?
We need to season it.
We need to season it again. Don't miss that step. So from here, we're going to go ahead and hit it again. And again, it does not take long. And I know you're thinking on the video, Josh, what about your burnt ends? Don't worry, we're not going to forget our burnt ends. So we've seasoned this, the dirty bird. Now we're gonna hit it with what? Honey killer bee, right?
Mm-hmm.
These pouches are really handy. So we've done that. So that feels pretty good, right? We got a nice coat of seasoning on there. Got our rub. We did the same thing with the burnt ends. So as you can see, nice, it's covered. Now the fun part. Actually, I'm not a big fan of injectors, but with this, with the pork belly, how tender it's going to be, it's worth the time to inject it. So, got a nice little shaker bottle. We'll go ahead and put this over here. And now we're going to inject. Now I'm not going to make you watch this whole process. I'm just going to inject a couple spots just to show you how I do it, and then I'll finish injecting. We'll be right back. But anyways, we want to get some of that juice in there. And then from there, just like so. You want to go about halfway in, and you want to be careful not to have it squirt out, because a little bit's going to come out anyways, and that's fine. But you just want to have a little pattern of how you're going with the injection. And as you can see, the injection part's what takes a bit, so like I said, I'll show you one more, and we'll take a brief break. I'll get the rest of this injected, and then after that, we'll be right back. So guys, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. And through the miracle of time, Bailey, it's injected. And we were able to go ahead and season our burnt ends. So if you want to come close, you can kind of see what this looks like. Inject it, it's ready to go. It's just in a pool of goodness with flavor. It's ready for the smoker. Again, we've got our smoker at 250 degrees, and if you come closer over here, you'll see our burnt ends. You can go a variety of sizes when you do your pork belly burnt end. This one, though, that's probably perfect, right? Seasoned all the way through. And again, we used our Cosmos Dirty Bird and Honey Killer Bee, and that's just one layer of flavoring we're going to do on that, Bailey.
Okay.
So that's nice big chunks of bacon, if you will. And here's a big slab of pork belly. So from here, we're going to take this out to the smoker at 250 degrees. We're going to put the fat side down, meat side up on that, and that's going to go for 4 hours. On our pork belly burnt ends, Bailey, we're going to do the same thing, placing them fat side up, and they're going to go in the smoker for 4 hours as well for the first part of the process. You ready to get this going?
Yep.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Okay, Bailey, so we got our smoker to 250 degrees. It's a nice brisk morning. Are you cold?
No.
Oh, poor hog too. All right, so let's open this up. Don't get too close, right? Smoke can get to it. We're gonna open it up, and you can see we've already got our burnt ends lined up on there, fat side up. We're doing a pork butt just because why not do a pork butt? And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our belly on. And again, the belly's going fat side down. And we're just gonna put that on like so. We're gonna let this be. I'm not gonna open this for 4 hours, Bailey. And after we open it up, it'll be time to wrap, time to help get it tender, and then hopefully shortly after that, it'll be time to eat. We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, Bailey, so it's been right at 4 hours. We've had these on the smoker at 250. We brought them inside, and we just want to get a close look and see where they're at. So if you want to come close, you can see they've got a nice mahogany color. You can see the fat on them. They look great. Here's the secret, Bailey. We want them to get tender. Now, how we make them tender is real simple. We're going to add a little brown sugar. So you want to help me put some brown sugar in there? Well, maybe not like that. Maybe we'll do like that, right? So we're going to put some brown sugar. You want to put a little bit more in there for me?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's perfect, right? Just a little bit more. Right? So it's going to keep the sweet going for them, right? Now after that, we want to put some honey. Why we want to put some honey?
Because to help it.
Help it. It's just going to keep it sweet, right? So we put some honey in here, and then we want to add a little more fat content. So we've got a stick of butter. You can do a stick and a half. We just happen to use a stick. And we're just going to put the butter, like so, on here. And guess what? What do you think we do after that, Bailey?
I think we add some more brown sugar.
Put a little bit more brown sugar. And then now all we're going to do is cover it. We're going to return this. Cover it nice and tight. You want to keep your smoker still at 250. we're going to take this back out to the smoker for another hour and a half. What we're going to let that do with it being covered is we're going to let that honey, that butter, that brown sugar all work together, and it's going to help tenderize it. So that's for our burnt ends. For the actual belly itself, we've got this right here, and you can look and see the color on that is just, I mean, it's amazing. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. We've done a good job. That's right at 4 hours as well. And with this, we're going to wrap this. So, put that like so. And we're just going to take this off, Bailey. Just to go ahead and open up our lids. And we're going to just do two things. We're going to take it, pick it up. And what this is going to do with it being wrapped is the same thing. It's going to tenderize. Now we're going to add just a little bit of apple juice. And we're going to put a little more of our seasoning on. Just to go over the top. So we put the seasoning on. Right? And then from there, I always find it good to fold the sides ahead of time. And then we pour just a little juice. This thing is full of juice still, right? So we don't need to add a bunch. We don't need to add any more butter or any fat like that like we did for the burnt ends because we had cut the burnt ends into cubes. So we're going to wrap it up. And we're going to use two pieces of foil. And then from there, this is going to go back on the smoker to tenderize. And it's going to take probably 3.5 to 4 more hours to get this good and tender. So that's one. And we'll get our foil. And I like to double wrap it just to be safe. Worst thing that can happen is you poke a hole in this and all the juice runs out and it defeats the whole purpose of making it tender. Right? That wouldn't be very good, would it, Bailey?
No, it wouldn't.
So we've wrapped it. It's going to be time to take these back up to the smoker. It'll be time to eat after that. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so now, Bailey, it's time to put them back on the smoker. We're going to leave them on. Our burnt ends are going to stay on here for an hour and a half, max, covered to tenderize. And then our pork belly itself is going to go back on, and it's going to be on here 3 to 4 hours. The temp you're looking for is probably going to be 198, close to 200. And it'll be time to eat. See you then. Thanks for watching. Okay, Bailey, so it's been an hour and a half. We've brought our pork belly burnt ends, and let's go ahead and open these up. I'm not sure if you can smell that, but it smells awesome here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So let's go ahead and see that steam coming off. As you can see, it's nice, they're juicy, they're really, oh man, that's good. And that's with the gloves and gloves. These are hot. They look great. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take these out of this dish, we're gonna put them in a new pan.
Okay.
And as we're putting them in a new pan, we're going to put a sauce or a glaze. I happen to like Cosmo's, and the sauce we're going to use is Cosmo's Cherry Habanero. And we're going to put that on them. We're going to toss them in the sauce, and we're going to put these back on the smoker for maybe 10 minutes max. And all we're wanting to do, and Bailey, if you want to go ahead and put the sauce on, all we're wanting to do is just let it set. That's all we're doing. You're doing good. Here you go. Keep pouring. If you guys can see that, it's not a lot of sauce that we use. That's good, sweetie. And all we're going to do is just toss these around. And I don't know if you can see how tender that is, or you want to come close, but let me tell you, a good job was done today making these burnt ends. So we're going to toss them in the sauce. We're going to take them back out to the smoker, put it back on 10 minutes max, let the sauce set, bring them inside, and Bailey, it'll finally be time to eat. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, Bailey, so the time has come. So last time we were looking at it, we had just wrapped it. We let it on the smoker. It was right at 3 hours. It didn't take 4. It took 3 hours for it to get tender. We brought it inside. We kept it wrapped in the foil, and we wrapped it in a towel, put it in a cooler for right at an hour, just so it could reabsorb the juices and that goodness, right? And if you want to come close, you're going to see how tender this is. Now I've got this on a cooking rack, and it needs to be on that because this thing is just ready to, I mean, it's ready to fall apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a glaze on it, and we're going to use Cosmo's Apple Habanero glaze for it. So Bailey, if you don't mind, pour some glaze on there, and I'm going to brush it on it. Go a little bit higher, up higher. There you go. All right. So from there, we're just going to brush it Gotta be careful with the bark. You don't want to take the bark up with this. And for the glaze to set on it, we're going to take it back out to the smoker. We're keeping our smoker at 250 degrees. And we're going to let it sit for probably right at 30 minutes. After that, we're going to bring it inside, let it sit for another 30 minutes. A lot of resting time, but you don't want to mess it up. We've already put in over 8 hours with this piece. Then after that, Bailey, guess what?
Takes time.
It'll be time to tear this thing open and get to eating. So again, we're going to put it on the smoker at 250 for 30 minutes. Next time you guys see us, we'll be letting this thing come to the temp. It'll be time to eat. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, Bailey, the moment we've been waiting for, it's time to dig into this pork belly. We've kind of walked through the process already through the videos, and we're going to look at two things that we finished up. The first thing, let's take a look at our burnt ends. And as you can see, these turned out awesome. Now, I'll be honest, these have been sitting for about 2.5 hours as we're waiting for this to turn out. But these turned out nice and tender. How's it look to you, Bailey?
That looks really good.
I know, and I know you want to have a piece, but we got to wait. We got to wait because we want to cut into this belly. So, with the belly, you could do it a couple different ways. As tender as this is, we're just going to open it right up and have a couple pieces. Now, the belly is where? This is on the pig of the hog, right? Or the belly of the hog, not the pig of the hog. That's the same thing. So, if you look, it turned out pretty good. And we're just going to look and see how tender this is. See how it just kind of pulls apart?
Yeah, I do.
That is awesome. And that right there is, oh Bailey, look how good that looks.
That looks amazing.
So this rendered really well. And let's just get a couple pieces, right? We don't want to tear this whole thing open just yet. Let it sit. But I'll get a piece for you.
Okay.
And make sure it's good, right?
Yeah.
And try a bite. Is that too hot or is that good?
Good.
Now, how's it for you?
That's really good.
Is it really good? All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, actually.
Oh my goodness, that's
Guys,
amazing.
I hope this video helps. If you have any best practices or things you've learned along the way, please don't hesitate. Please share it. But, oh man, Bailey, this looks great. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.